Hey guys, how we doing? Back with another video from Annie News, and we are finishing off the Hercules videos. How strong is Hercules? I mean, he's pretty damn strong. And I think a really good example of within the Fate series is the fight with Gilgamesh was just like, whoa. I'm pretty sure there was a moment where Gilgamesh was looking and was like, this guy might actually get me. That fight was epic. So let's see what Annie News has to say on it. How strong is Hercules?
How strong is Heracles? A pretty good question, considering he's known as the god of strength.
Yep.
Though I can't really give you an exact answer. But we can answer it indirectly by looking at all the things that makes him such a powerful servant.
Oh, what a fight, man.
One that damn near made Gilgamesh piss his
There you are. Look at that.
So let's finish up this servant
There's fear in his
looking
eyes.
at all the abilities and noble phantasms that go into making Heracles the not-so-easy-to-kill demigod berserker.
Boom.
It's been a while since I last covered a berserker, so let's start with a trait that's common amongst all of them. The Mad Enhancement class skill, something that
I'm going inside!
and identifies them as the berserker class. In Heracles' case, it was when he hulked out on his music teacher and beat him to death with a lyre. Also potentially contributed to when Hera induced madness on him and caused him to kill his family.
Damn.
It was these defining moments of rage that classify Heracles into the berserker class and give him this mad enhancement skill. That's not to say that he couldn't be summoned into any other classes, though.
So he could be,
He did master pretty much every weapon, and as such, would easily qualify as any of the other classes, except for Caster. And just in case you're wondering, Archer is an insanely powerful variant, and probably his best fit. But back to that enhancement. Essentially what this does is, it gives an all-around buff to the servant, but in exchange for their sanity or sense of reason. The entire impact that it has is dependent on the berserker. Like in Frankenstein's case, she can mumble and come to a mutual understanding with her master, but can't quite communicate. Whereas a berserker like Spartacus, he can communicate, but he has pretty much no sense of reason and acts on his own will no matter what.
Yeah, he just kept charging,
with
didn't he?
Heracles, yeah, his sanity has almost been fully taken away, resulting in a typical berserker master pairing of master saying to do this,
It looks a bit like the first Pillar Man, doesn't it? He's like that in JoJo's.
After months of harsh training deep in the woods of the Ainsburn Waste,
when he's in the pillar,
combined with a focused effort by Iliad to suppress the mad enhancement, was Heracles able to eventually reach a level of understanding with her, and become this somewhat loyal servant to her.
Cool.
The next factors that are known to boost Heracles' general strength is his fame, as well as cultural sphere, both stemming from the recognition that his legend produces. Cultural sphere grants a general buff to servants that are summoned closer to where their legend took place. So Vlad being in Romania, or Semiramis in her Hanging Gardens of Babylon, granted both servants a significant boost of strength.
When they're there.
In Heracles' case, it would be Europe. Fame also works in a similar way, but instead of location, it grants buffs based on reputation.
So
and
when
Heracles,
people know who you are.
Hercules, being one of the most well-known legends across the globe, places him with one of, if not the highest fame ranking.
Well, there you go.
Apparently only one or two others who are known to be even remotely close. These factors had already brought his skills and abilities to a pretty high level, but when combined with Mad Enhancement, it actually earned him the title of the strongest servant to be summoned in that Holy Grail War. Though this also came at the cost of his technical prowess, and even some of his noble phantasms. You see, the Ainsburns wanted raw power, and they would rather have a mindless brute that could be tamed over a master swordsman with a set of heroic morals that could potentially conflict with their enemies.
Yeah.
Something that they just didn't
thinking of
leave
their
to
own.
chance, given the events of the previous Holy Grail.
Yeah, because
Heracles
considering she
also
just destroyed
lost
the
his
Grail.
bravery skill, birthed from his legend of being able to single-handedly
Well,
defeat
she was
many
commanded to,
hellish
but-
monsters. And it would have acted as a resistance towards any mentally impairing abilities, such as confusion or charm. It also would have given him greater strength in hand-to-hand combat, though all now useless as it's overwritten by the Mad Enhancement. Now, what is by far the most damaging blow to being a berserker is the loss of his most reliable attack and noble phantasm. It's called 9 Lives, shooting the 100 heads. It's more of a technique than it is a weapon, and it's born from his second labor against the Lernaean Hydra. A serpentine water monster with 9 heads, where if one was cut off,
it would
2
make 2
more
more,
would then grow back. In the actual legend, he was able to defeat the Hydra by cauterizing the decapitated necks so that the heads wouldn't
grow, yeah.
But in the Fate version, he slew the creature in a slightly more badass method.
Oh, okay.
He picked up his bow, readied his arrows, and then fired them with such great speed and precision that he finished off all 100 heads of the Hydra at the same time.
What?
Thus the name Shooting the 100 Heads.
Wow.
He then developed this
That's
technique
boss.
into a transferable style that could be emulated through various abilities with other weapons. Meaning, it's a noble phantasm that is easily adaptable, and it takes on different forms depending on the weapon that he's using and the target that he's using it against.
Yeah?
Allow me to elaborate on that a little bit.
Go on.
This single noble phantasm encompasses a great many different forms, all representing the same technique and with the single purpose of eliminating the target, no matter how many times it resurrects. It could be used with a bow, a shield, an axe, a spear, it doesn't matter. Every weapon he's mastered is capable of the technique.
Oh.
A technique so strong that it is said to bring out the maximum power of any weapon.
Crazy.
Whatever weapon
Crazy.
it was used with becomes the greatest weapon of that type, giving Heracles a wide array of weapons that could become stronger than any other servants.
Whoa.
And because it's such an adaptable technique, the level of power it can output is dependent on the situation, meaning its power can range from a single target anti-unit ability consisting of 9 consecutive strikes to an anti-army attack of 100 strikes, and even further beyond. Once again, it all depends on the weapon and the target. We know all of this, yet we never did get the chance to see it in Fate's Day Night. However, there have been instances in other series where it was used, most notably in Prisma Ilia, when Gilgamesh uses the prototype version of it as an anti-phantasmal beast ability that shoots 9 dragon-like homing laser attacks.
Oh, damn.
So I'm sure you can imagine the variability with respect to the use of 9 lives. Now, the reason that Berserker Heracles wasn't able to use it was due to a lack of motor skills. It simply wasn't in his physical ability to pull off an attack that literally strikes at God speed. Though that's not quite the case for him in the Fate Grand Order arcade game.
Okay.
Please bring it to PS4. Moving on to the more applicable aspects of Heracles, specifically the ones from Fate's Day Night, his Berserker-related limitations make it so that he has to defeat his enemy in physical combat, which, when it's actually a one-on-one fight with only physical combat involved, he'd easily win every single time.
Damn.
His speed and power dwarfs any other, leaving barely any openings for an opponent to even call as a weakness. He's a fully offensive tank that will rarely, if ever, go on the defensive.
On the defense, yeah.
I mean,
just all attack.
Really have to. After all, he does have his second noble phantasm, God Hand, the 12 Labors.
God Hand.
Gifts of immortality from the gods themselves, for completing 12 godlike tasks.
12 Labors, yeah.
An ability that has no form, but rather is imbued into Heracles himself.
Damn.
And what it does is, upon taking what would be lethal damage, his body transforms itself into a lead-like suit of armor, as it reshapes itself back to normal and heals any wounds. Resurrection is then taken place alongside nullification of any incoming attack, as well as gained immunity from any previously received attacks.
Crazy.
Once again, let's elaborate on this. God Hand provides Heracles with 12 lives, 1 for each of his completed labors, and it revives him through layered resurrection magic, though the way that he's revived is similar to that of a time reversal regeneration, or something to that effect. Then, the length of time that it takes for him to fully regenerate depends on the type of damage that he receives, though usually he heals fairly quickly. Not only that, but each life he has is prone to a specific amount of damage before it is lost.
Oh, okay.
Think of it
That's
like
interesting.
stamina mode in Super Smash Bros. Imagine Heracles starts with 300 health and 12 stocks. Every damage-capable attack would chunk away at that health bit by bit, but also that health is constantly trying to regenerate back to a full 300. So if you're not doing more damage than he is regenerating, then you're not winning that fight.
No, okay, yeah, makes sense.
You have to repeat the process 12 times and completely eliminate that 300 health before even taking a stock from him.
Bloody
But
hell.
that's not to say that you can't hit him hard enough to take multiple stocks at once either. Say Gilgamesh comes in and he uses Enkidu to inflict 600 damage, just like that. Then Heracles would actually lose 2 lives, because he just took enough damage to exceed the damage capacity of 2
So basically did
lives.
600 then.
But here's the catch. no two attacks will be effective on him twice in a row.
Oh.
A new method of attack must be used to take the next life, due to the effects of God Hand's revival. Basically, any ability or attack that was used against him to kill him will be nullified after his resurrection.
Wow.
It doesn't matter what attack it was. If it killed him with it, then it won't kill him again.
Oh my god, that's sick.
Any attacks that even damage him, regardless of whether it killed him or not, will give him resistance towards the next attack of that same kind.
Whoa.
He's continuously adapting to his situation and growing stronger with every encounter. And to top it all off, God Hand also has the passive trait to negate the damage of any attack that is B rank or lower. Meaning that in order for this man to even be damaged, he has to be struck by an A rank attack or noble phantasm.
Right,
which some servants don't even have. Like, if you're assassin, then you might as well just erase yourself from the Holy Grail.
Just leave it out, innit?
It's literally impossible for you to beat Heracles, let alone damage him.
Damn.
Oh, and guess what? If you don't take all 12 lives in the same fight, and then let Heracles get away, if his master has enough magical energy, even his stock of lives can be regenerated with enough time.
What?
It takes approximately 3 days for 2 lives to be restored.
Wow.
So, let's be honest. The only person who was even capable of taking on Heracles in Fate's Day Night was Gilgamesh.
Jesus.
His massed collection of noble phantasms and A-ranked weapons gave him more than enough options to eliminate Heracles 12 times over.
Jesus.
I'm sure there's more than a few items in his Gate of Babylon that could also probably take all 12 lives at once.
One time,
Feel free to let me know in the comments if such a weapon even exists. Now, even with all this, we're still not done with Berserker yet.
No?
We haven't even talked about his main weapon, which actually isn't that important. It's not a noble phantasm like most other servant weapons are. It's just an axe sword made out of rock, carved from the Ainsburn family's temple, and used as the catalyst to summon Berserkers.
Looks cool,
so,
man.
though it's not a noble phantasm, I'm sure you don't need me to remind you of the lethality of a giant rock weapon being swung at your face at Godspeed.
Yeah.
Then he has False Insight, or the Eye of the Mind natural talent. Not to be confused with the true version, which can be learned by humans. The false version is something that cannot be learned by mere mortals. In general, it allows a servant to sense danger, based on their past experiences, and they've pretty much honed this talent and made it as their sixth sense. In Heracles' case, even with the mad enhancement messing with his head, he's still able to competently analyze the opponent and his surroundings, which allows him to determine the best course of action in a fight.
So cool, let's go with the weapon,
It's
just
an
carry on
instinct that
fighting.
allows him to easily read the opponent and fight with greater awareness. And lastly, he has what's battle continuation, a skill that allows him to sustain himself in a fight even after taking mortal wounds. Gilgamesh actually experienced this firsthand, after almost getting smashed back to battle.
Yeah.
You see, even after Heracles had lost all his lives, he still willed himself to maintain his physical body, by resisting the laws of the world that were trying to remove him from existence as a defeated servant.
What?
He should have faded away while chained up by Enkidu, but somehow he remained, standing long enough for Nydia to reach him, allowing her to gain a final sense of comfort that he hadn't yet been defeated. All in all, though, Heracles is quite strong.
Yeah,
quite possibly the strongest on a physical level. And unless you've got an array of techniques and weapons that are A rank and above, as well as are capable of killing him 12 times over, then you definitely don't want to be fighting him. And take this in, this isn't even his strongest form. Archer Heracles has even more noble phantasms, including God Hand. So you can imagine how a ranged version of Heracles with 12 additional noble phantasms and 12 spare lives would do in a Holy Grail war. Maybe one day I'll talk about him. But for now, that's how strong Berserker Heracles is.
It's
Hopefully
insane.
now you've got a better idea on where he ranks compared to everyone else. Anyway, now that he's done, we can move on to the next. So be sure to vote in the poll on my community page to choose which servant you want covered next. Now, as always, thank you so much for watching, and if you enjoyed this type of anime content, then you already know what to do. So, until next time, ciao!
Sweet. Goddamn, man. These videos are so good. So good. Now, my understanding he hasn't got any more Fate's Day Night character analysis videos. If I'm wrong, let me know. But I am now jumping into the Fate Apocrypha ones, and there's a lot of those. There's a lot of characters, a lot of interesting stuff went on in that series. It's not my favourite. I do prefer Fate Stay Night Unlimited Blade Works, but a lot of interesting characters, a lot of backstory going on there. So I'm really looking forward to it. Especially, I'm going to start off with the Joan of Arc one, the ruler class. The whole thing about the ruler class being explained would be pretty cool as well, and all that stuff. So yeah, I'm gonna go back to the Shield Hero content videos at some point. I think one's been removed, but we'll see how I go there. Doesn't really matter, because if it comes back and do it, it's just like doesn't really matter to do them in order either. So yeah, thank you guys very much for watching. What do you guys think of that? What do you guys think of this? Click like, subscribe if you haven't already. Leave comments down below. Let me know what I should watch and discuss in future videos. And I'll see you guys. Yes, all you guys next time.